We knew the Philippines was far, and it was a far trip. The money didn't matter, even though it was a bit pricey. It was a life experience. It was a life-altering experience. So who is ungood? From Toronto, Canada. I'm 33 years old. Work for my family business. We do cardiac heart testing. I've never been married. I was close to getting married, and I'm happy I did, because I got a chance to come down on the tour with AFA. But no, I've never been married before. So the decisive moment, the decisive key pinnacle moment where I decided to use AFA to search for my long-term, my ideal woman, would probably be two things. Number one was, I'm actually Indian and Sri Lankan, and I was actually really close to getting an arranged marriage, and my heart wasn't in it. So, in our culture, arranged marriage is big, and I found it very businessy, very transactional. I didn't want to do that, because I wanted love, I wanted romance, I wanted passion, I wanted excitement. I wanted to know that the woman wanted me for me. So I reached out to AFA because the footage was really good. There were so many happy clients online. If you Google AFA in YouTube, you see a lot of happy men with genuine, beautiful women with great attitudes. So that definitely made me feel good, because I didn't want something transactional. I wanted to avoid that. So that was number one. And number two was, I didn't want to make excuses. I knew the Philippines was far, and it was a far trip. The money didn't matter, even though it was a bit pricey. It was a life experience. It was a life-altering experience. My uncle passed away suddenly, and when that happened, he died suddenly of a heart attack at 53. You realize that time is really important, and you should do the things that you want to do now. So that's what it was. I didn't wait. I packed my bags. I booked my ticket. I booked my tour, and I took a chance. And I'm really happy I did. It won't be for life. I originally found out about a foreign affair through YouTube. I just Googled, YouTube and a browser search on Chrome. So I Googled best romance tours or best love tours, and it took me straight to loveme.com, which is the website affiliated with the foreign affair. I read testimonials online. I read a lot of reports. I'm the kind of guy that will always do my research. I'm a smart guy. I'm not going to walk into something blind. I did my homework on them. 27 years they were operational. Called the head office in Phoenix. They took my calls. They answered my questions. So I had a measure of confidence before I came, because, it could be scary for men in the West to make that decision to pay that money and make that trip. But the customer service was great. The YouTube videos were strong. The testimonials were real. And it was kind of how I found out about it. And then there were a lot of articles online too, on the internet, talking about AFA, talking about successful romance tours in Medellin and Ukraine. Philippines. So if other men were doing it and finding success, then why wouldn't I be able to find that, right? That's how I found out about it. The time I found out about you guys, the time I actually booked my tour, was less than a month. I was decisive, and I was sold. I was actually sold, and I'm happy I did. I love Filipino women. I find them incredibly beautiful. I think they're down to earth, they're humble. And I felt that what really motivated me to do this tour was the prospect of meeting, a lot of quality women, and knowing that AFA is screening them to a certain degree. It gives a foreigner like me, a guy from the West, a measure of confidence that you're not meeting some random person off the street. And I think that's important, because when you're coming to a foreign country, you want to know that the women are vetted, screened to some degree, and that, AFA does know a little bit about their profiles and their background. I like that. It makes me feel secure. So that was the biggest thing, just, my desire to meet a great Filipino woman. The culture is great. It's very similar to Indian culture. Romance alive. They're loving women. They start families. I'm a family-oriented man. And just the track record of success, they're the only company, they've been around for 27 years, and customer service is big. So anytime you had a question or you called the head office in Phoenix, they took your call. They called you back. They answered your questions. They explained how things worked. They were so well organized based on testimonials. So I was sold. I wanted to take the chance to do it. And like I said, I didn't know what I was going to get until I showed up. There was a little bit of a risk, but it was well worth it. So that's what sold me, just a successful track record. And the possibility of meeting so many beautiful, amazing women over the course of one or two socials. So where else can you get that? Like, you can't get that anywhere else. You have to show up, and all you have to do is walk into a room and you're being introduced to 200, 100 plus beautiful women in one night. So if you're a single man and you're looking for the right girl, what else can you ask for? Before I came on the tour, there were two major reservations. Is this thing legit? The money was never a problem because, as much as people may crib about money, everybody can find the money to do something. It's whether or not it's worth it. So in terms of whether or not it was worth it, the only reservation I had was, is this thing legit? Like, is this a dream? Is this too good to be true? Or is it legit? So that was my only fear. So the Filipino women I have met have been some of the best women I've ever met in my entire life. I'm no stranger to dating. I've had ex-girlfriends. I've had girlfriends in the past of different cultures and different ethnicities, Indian, Caribbean, Latina, but there's something unique about Filipino women. Specifically, they're loyal, they're loving, they're caring, they've got strong, old-fashioned values, and not in a bad way, in a good way, in a sense that we want to keep the home strong. We want to build with you. We care about you. So, and they're gorgeous. Like, I can't their attitude is so great. They're humble, they're hardworking. They understand the value of money. They'll struggle and build with you. And they're in it for the right reasons. They're genuine. And I think a lot of men today have a tough time meeting genuine women. The Filipino women that I've met have been phenomenal. They've been genuine. They wear their heart in their sleeve. They tell you how they feel. What else can you ask for? It's like, as a man, what else can you really ask for, right? So I'm happy with the women I've met so far. Yeah. But these ones, they feel like they... So in terms of meeting somebody special, I believe I have. I'm taking my time, and I'm getting to know the women equally because, on the socials, and, for the men watching this who are going to do the tour, you will meet a lot of women at the social, so I am taking my time. That being said, there are one or two women that I think could be very special. Obviously, I would choose one, but there are definitely possibilities there in terms of me seeing a future with at least one or two of the girls on this trip so far. Yeah, definitely. So if I were to help you visualize the socials and kind of walk you through the experience from my eyes walking in, you walk in this room, this banquet hall, this beautiful banquet hall in a hotel, and I'm just painting a picture. You see a bevy of beautiful women greet you right away. And I've never experienced something like that in my entire life, and especially living in Toronto, Canada. And a lot of the men in Australia, the US, the UK say the same thing. So you walk in, you're instantly greeted by a beautiful girl that puts a garland around your neck, welcomes you, gives you a big hug, and then puts your name tag on. You're in the lobby or the outer lobby. You have a drink in your hand, you got a beautiful girl in your hand, escorts you, and other women will escort the other men on the tour into the grand ballroom or the grand lobby room. And when you walk in, you're literally blown away. Like, you're greeted by about 120 to 130, absolutely beautiful women who are just happy to see you, who are genuine, who are seriously looking for the right man. And, when there's 15 or 20 guys, and close to 120 women, beautiful women as well, I have a tough time imagining a lot of men experiencing that. I've never experienced that. It's fun. You walk in, there's interactive, icebreakers, there's great dinner. There's table hopping where you can actually meet all the women over the course of the night and pick the ones that you want to get to know. There's interactive games towards the end to kind of further break the ice and have that playful, flirty banter with the girls that you really like. And then there's follow-up after, and the buddies, everybody on the tour, all the men have buddies, and the buddies are great at connecting the women that you like with yourself, and they follow up, and they make things happen really quickly. So it's not just, hey, show up to the social and you're on your own. There's ongoing support. You have the buddies. They document who you like. They follow up with the girls. They get you in touch. They set you up on dates. So it's a one-stop shop, and all you have to do is show up. Like, everything else is provided and taken care for. So it's wonderful, Yeah.
When I met you and your little mate,
My thoughts on the AFA staff and the organization. I'll speak to the staff first. Staff are great. I was at a pool party yesterday with the staff, had a great time. Like, I can see myself being like lifelong friends with a lot of people on the tour. The camera crew, the film crew, everybody's down to earth, everybody's humble, and they're actually pulling for you to be successful. It's like they want you to find the right girl. They want you to be happy. They want you to enjoy your time. You know, my buddy is great. Like Bernadette is my buddy. She's phenomenal. She's literally followed up with every girl that I've been interested in and set me up on countless dates. The other staff, the office staff, Don Marco, Helen, everybody from top down is super down to earth. They're super approachable, and they're there to customize the tour for you. So you walk away with meeting all the women you want to meet and deciding the right woman for you based on the girls that you met. So the staff is great. I have nothing but great things to say about them, and they make the experience as good as it is. Any man sitting at home, and if you're on the fence and you're a man sitting at home considering it, you got to get up your ass and do it. Pardon my French, you got to get up and do this thing. It's like, no matter there's two things that can go on in your mind: the money and is it worth it? And I can tell you it's worth it, and I can tell you, as much as you want to crib about the money, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. Anybody can find 3 or 4 grand invested. So it's not the money, it's an excuse, but it's worth it. Get off your ass, do the tour. You're gonna meet beautiful girls. You're gonna meet girls that actually like you for you. They have wonderful attitudes. They're not entitled. They have pure hearts. They love with passion. And you'll meet, and above and beyond the women, you'll see beautiful places. You'll see mountaintops, you'll see temples. Like, that's the other thing about AFA. It's not just meeting pretty girls and with good attitudes. It's seeing things that you would never see on your own. It's organizing trips to different temples, to different places, to mountaintops, to behold islands. So you'll see beautiful things. You'll make lifelong friends with the guys on the tour. It doesn't matter how old you are, but you could be 33 or 55. Or anywhere in between, younger or older. You'll make amazing friends. You'll have lifelong relationships with people. You'll meet beautiful girls that you actually connect with, who like you for you. And you'll see beauty that many of us, and I'll speak for myself, haven't seen. So it's a no-brainer. Get off your ass and do it. Like, stop making excuses, do it. So if I had to describe my experience on this tour, my whole experience in 1 or 2 words, I would say life-changing. Yeah. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm happy. I kind of don't want to go back home. The only reason I'm going back home is because my mom lives there in Toronto, Canada. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be here with a bunch of guys that actually have the chance to do this instead of being stressed out at home and working 80 hours a week and being miserable and paying bills and waking up and paying bills and working. Like, to be out here with beautiful girls, beautiful weather, we're blessed. I can't say anything else.
Are you a single man looking for love? Expand your horizons. Interested? Learn more at
asian-women.com.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Then click on the notice bell to get notified every time we add something new.